All right, everybody. Uh, am I online? It's not showing anything. Hang on. Yeah, okay, I am. I had to refresh my dashboard to see. Um, yeah, clearly I've been running behind a little bit, so I apologize about that. I am just about ready to start it. I figured I would go ahead and start the stream since I'm really close. I had some problems with my toilet today, so I was taking care of that. Sorry about that. Um, But yeah, like I said, I'm just about ready to stream. Ready to start it. I figured. So I tried a few times to start Black Sails and just quit right after starting. So my camera's off for the moment while I eat, so you don't have to watch me eat. Black Sails still isn't starting. I don't know why. It goes for like 3 or 4 seconds, like where it would go to do the window, open the window, and then it stops. Um, I don't know what to do about this. But let me see if I can find it. Oh wait, oh, my screen went black very briefly. I thought it was going to start, but I don't think so. I think it's just a hiccup in my graphics card. Not there. Okay, let's just do this. Let's go. This. We'll figure it out. It's always something. Where is... What's that? That'd be like saves and stuff. I don't want that. Um, hmm. Why am I not finding... Hmm. Damn it. Okay, hang on. Just generally. Um, I don't remember it being this hard to find Steam games that I have installed. What the frick? No, stop. Okay, this is why, I think. Somewhat. Okay, now I need to find here. And I don't know which one uh Black Sails is supposed to be. Let me see. I can sorry, I can turn my webcam back on. Um where is it? Okay, let me go line by line, make sure I'm not missing. I'm just looking past it. Um, none of those. That no, that still wakes the deep. I saw like well, kind of like a ship, but it's more of a platform, and I remember the icon for that, so that's not the same one. Ah, here I'm pretty sure this is it. Let me see if I can do this as an admin or something. Maybe that'll improve things. Um, where's my... Oh, I don't really. Hang on. It's got to be. Not under properties. How do you run compatibility mode? What the frick? Did I forget everything about Windows today? Um, that's not. Oh, you know what? This is just these are just icons. Damn. I was thinking it was the executable. Steam apps, not Steam, I think. No wonder I was having so much trouble finding it. I was like, what the frick, dude? Um, how? It's not under common? Okay, so hang on. Steam apps. What else would it be under? I thought it was under Steam apps. It's not. We're gonna go to Steam apps. There's a bunch of ACF files which don't install on their own or don't run on their own. They're not like executables. If I go, it's like if I go into Asylum demo, asylum.exe. So when I go to Black Sails, I don't see an executable. I don't even see a batch file. I see initial, what do you call it? INI files, initiating files, or whatever you call them. Gosh, do I have to uninstall and reinstall? Let me just uninstall and reinstall. I don't, this is getting very confusing and frustrating, honestly. Install. Install. Sorry, everybody. I don't know what's happening today. Apparently, everything is running way behind or something. I don't even know. And Steam is not downloading. It says starting download, but it's just hanging. What the hell is going on? Oh no, there we go. 33, 34%. Okay, it took forever to start. Very confusing. I don't know what's going on. It's not awesome, but 65%. We'll see if by reinstalling I fix whatever glitch was going on. Well, I said it's really weird when I went into the Steam apps, even though other things, like I told you, Asylum, for example, the Asylum demo, had executables. Black Sails had nothing that I could see that would get the app running. Like I said, no batch file, no executable, no what's the one? It's like executable ISO, I think. Anyway, none of those different file types. So I don't know how it would have been expected to start in the first place. Man, this is being slow. 66%. Am I dropping a bunch of frames? 3.4%. That's not great. It's not horrible, but it's not the best. My internet connection's stable. Supposedly, at least. I don't know. Okay. Now can I play it? No. I apparently we can't play this game anymore? Why? Black Sails won't run. It's a new thing apparently. What now? There are only two things. I mean, it's not a super popular game, so I guess there's that too. But, dude, everything was fine. We're most of the way through the game. Why the frick does this have to stop working? Maybe it's a runtime error? Um, Game launching issues. This person's using Windows 7, so it's old post, but still. So it works on Windows 10 also. Um, okay, hang on. So control panel. Through set of steps here apparently. System. What? It says under the advanced tab, there is no advanced tab in Windows 10, so I don't know where I'm supposed to be looking for this. Performance. Okay, maybe adjust the appearance and performance of Windows? Maybe. Okay, go to advanced. No, I don't want that. Okay, performance. I don't. Data execution prevention. Ah, there we go. Okay. Let me try this now. Hang on. So I do this. Add. Why do we have such a primitive? This is stupid anyway. They use a super primitive window thing. We have to click, click, click. You can't paste like a whole set of folders. Okay, Steam. Steam apps. Common. Black sails. There we go. Bin. Release. There we go. Apply. Let's see if that lets me. Suddenly Windows decided it can't run this program or something. I don't know. Yes. Yes, it's running. Stupid Windows. Gosh. Once again, it always comes down to Windows does some stupid setting and screws everything up. Jiminy Christmas, dude. I should not have to go through a whole bunch of hoops because Windows is dumb. Jeez. Alright. Finally, we're going to play. Can I play, please?
Or he's going to cut you open.
Yeah, I got to figure out. We blinded him, right? I think we blinded him. I need to figure out how I can get him luring or pushing or whatever it is. Figure out how I can get him to stand on.
Come out now before things get worse.
To stand on like that trap door and fall into there.
He is evil.
Pig head and slippers. Slippers let me be quiet so he doesn't know where I am.
I'm starting to get fed up with this. Hey, what was that? Was that you, girl? I can help you.
I'd climb down the chute now. I'd end up right in the doctor's hands.
Right, so I gotta go this way. And then drop into the stacks.
Save yourself.
You can't hide forever.
Oh, but I can't. Do I back out? I can't. That's just looking.
My patience is now at an end. Where are you? Come out and show yourself.
He
Right,
wants to kill you.
And then I crawl underneath. That's what I do.
Where are you? Talk to me.
Yeah. Now we'll get rid of it.
Don't listen to him. He'll escape. Call again. You must do it. You're not done yet. Do it. Pull the lever. Kill the monster.
She's crying. She's crying. Poor little girl has to deal with that crap. She shouldn't have to worry about all that stuff. Why are we in here? Didn't we go in the trapdoor underneath?
I'm back. The girl, she's safe. I've done it. Oh my god, fire! The whole ship will be ablaze in no time. Lex, I have to help him.
There you are. I thought you died. These vapors, they can completely fog up your senses.
I'm fine. Lex, listen to me.
I can barely move. If you hadn't come back.
But I'm here now, Lex. listen to me, this girl...
Now we know for sure. This ship is cursed. The hook, you got it? Can we move the lifeboat?
Now, listen to me for a second.
What?
I've seen the girl again, and saved her.
Are you okay? Maybe you inhaled too much of the vapors. This ethanol is the devil's brew. Let's get to some fresh air, as fast as we can.
The ship's burning.
If the fire reaches the ethanol barrels, the ship's going to explode. Thank you for coming back. I would have died here otherwise. We need to get out of here, and quick. Do you have the hook?
Here it is.
Please, help me. I can't do it on my own.
Wait, I'll help you.
Yeah, he just asked. Help me. Wait, I'll help you.
We need
yeah,
to hurry.
we get it.
Attach the hook so that we can escape. But we need fresh water before we leave. We'll die without it.
I've got fresh water here. Okay, so I need to attach the hook. What now? Hook. Where am I attaching the hook?
No, I won't put it there.
I'm very confused what we're... Oh, are we doing it over here or something?
No, I won't put it there. 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 No, I won't put it there.
Where am I supposed to put the hook? I don't understand. Let me ask him.
Hurry up. We need to leave the ship.
I don't know you. What do you want me to do with the hook? I don't understand what I'm supposed to do with the hook. What the crap am I supposed to do with the hook? What could I be hooking?
No, I won't put it there. No, I won't put it there. No, I won't put it there.
Urgh. What? Water pump pipes. I don't... I'm very confused. Where am I supposed to be putting the hook?
No, I won't put it there. I'd better fix the hook to the chain instead of the cargo.
We're gonna lower that first, I guess. Bring it down.
I've detached the cargo from the crane. I've attached the hook to the chain. I should be able to launch the lifeboat now.
That doesn't sound awesome.
Did you get some fresh water?
Here you go.
Wait a minute. What the hell is this? Rat poison.
Oh, the sleeping drug that Fiona gave to the sailors. It's one of these bottles.
Sleeping drug? What are you talking about? This is rat poison.
No, I saw what happened. Fiona put it into their food, but the bottle looked somehow different.
Hey, Silhouette.
We don't have time to find out what you may or may not have seen. It's the fresh water that's important, and we've got it. Let's get to the crane.
Finally had a whole bunch of problems this morning. Or not a whole bunch, but a couple of different problems. So I had some issues with my toilet, so I started the stream late, about 20 or 25 minutes late. Then I was not able to get the game to start. Had to look up an article and do like some, not troubleshooting really, but just like make some adjustments to get to run again. That was not what I had wanted, but okay, so rail forward to get the boat. Then to the right. Oh, that's right. So I had to go left twice. My bad. Left twice. I wasn't thinking the way the crane was facing. To be right, I was thinking to the right away. Anyway, the way I was facing, which is obviously incorrect. Okay, so there we go.
Corpses. Oh my god. Dead, twisted bodies. Oh my god.
There are 4 dead.
The whole crew. Apart from the doctor.
They died inside the lifeboat, even before it could be lowered. Hang on a minute. What did you say about your vision? About the rat poison?
Fiona. No way, she didn't.
She poisoned these men. That's why they never made it off the ship.
No, Fiona just tranquilized them. With the sleeping drug.
That wasn't a sleeping drug. She killed them all. In your visions, you saw a murderer.
But I saved her. From the doctor. He intended to burn her alive.
Enough of this. Open your eyes. The girl killed them. How can you not see this? And she murdered this doctor too. We'll never know for sure if he really was a bad man or not. Maybe he was just on board to care for the girl. And all of this has turned this vessel into a cursed ghost ship.
She didn't have any evil intentions.
We need to get off the ship. This ship drives everybody crazy.
I was gonna friggin' say, let's not have the conversation about the
Mary
girl right now.
Celeste?
Let's just get
What
off the
did you
damn
just say?
ship.
It's written on the lifeboat. Is it the name of the ship?
That's impossible. The Mary Celeste disappeared without a trace.
What are you talking about?
She was
Yeah.
a brigantine. It's been more than 10 years now that she's disappeared somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. I've been at sea with some old sea dogs who claim to have seen her as a shadow in the mist. But whoever turned his ship to follow her didn't find anything. A ghost ship.
What the hell do you think we're on, dude? He acts like he's not heard anything the whole time in the game so far.
And we found her?
Or she found us.
And this is the crew? Are you sure?
Look at them. They've been dead for many years.
A ship that's been missing for over 10 years?
Yes. And your story about Fiona seems to fit. All this time I didn't know what to make of you. But you seem to be a good person.
So, if it's been 10 years, would the bodies still be around? They wouldn't have turned to dust and just be bones at this point? Seems unlikely, but I guess it's a cursed ship, so you could just kind of roll with it, I guess.
Why do you think that Fiona's story's true?
There's exactly the same number of corpses outside as the number of sailors that Fiona's poisoned. There's a passenger list on the captain's cabin. Only the doctor is missing, and he was burnt alive. And you found his ashes in the machine room. So it all fits together. What you told me had really happened. Here on the Mary Celeste. So this leaves one very important question in this puzzle. Who are you?
What?
How do you know what's happened to Fiona?
I had these visions.
But why you? Everything seems to have something to do with you. I, for one, didn't see any ghosts, nor little girls.
Because how many years ago did you say all of this took place?
At least 12 or 13 years. Why?
How old was I back then?
I don't quite seem to follow you.
I
We're
must have been 7
Fiona?
or 8 years old when this ship disappeared. I was
So
a
we're
child,
Fiona.
a little
Wow.
girl. No, that can't be. That's impossible.
Our mom and dad is Fiona's mom and dad. That
That was me.
necklace was Fiona's.
All of this. It was me.
Now what are you talking about?
I am Fiona. I did all of this. I'm the guilty one.
But your name's not Fiona. Your name is...
Anna. That's what my foster father called me. After he adopted me. He only told me that I survived a shipwreck. But whatever happened before that, I was never able to remember until now.
Anna. We need to get off this ship, now. Or this will be our grave.
I can remember my family.
Anna!
The house in the colonies. It burned.
I know, this must be tough for you.
But there's one thing that I have no memories of. A brother. I don't think that I had a brother. Who was that voice that was talking to me through the wall? Who or what was that voice, Lex? Lex?
What is it, Anna?
Now we know who I am. But do we know who you are?
For God's sakes, I don't have the slightest idea what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
What?
What? I've said I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Something's wrong here.
Yes, something's wrong with you. Your memories are turning you mad.
You know my memories? My thoughts?
What the hell are you talking about? This ship's going to fly apart any second now.
You never told me much about yourself.
Now what are you talking about?
Were you here back then? Have you always been here?
Anna, stop it, damn it. You're giving me the creeps.
My parents. I can remember them, but not my brother. And Fiona never saw him. Just heard his voice. He didn't exist. He was only in my head.
We need to go. Time is running out.
Don't leave me behind.
Wasn't my brother's voice. It's the ship's voice. My brother never existed, only in my imagination. I can't tell imagination apart from reality anymore. Let's just work with Lex. Seems like there are multiple endings to this, which is interesting. So probably what we'll end up doing is, after we get this ending, I will go to do everything except for move the lifeboat. I'll save it, and then each time we might repeat this dialogue, this like set of cutscenes again, but we'll like see different endings. It seems like we'll see what happens.
Lex, I need your help to get off this ship.
Anna, you're really confused. Look around. The ship is burning. And all that matters is that the both of us go through this door right now and get off the ship. Both of us.
You and me.
Stop! Stop talking!
Trust him.
I trust you, but I think I'm going crazy.
The ethanol. It's got to be the vapors from the barrels that are doing this to you. Come to your senses before the ship's getting blasted to pieces.
Come to your senses.
I can't move. I can't help you. You need to help me. Focus. Be strong.
I've shown you the way once before.
Anna, listen to me. All of this is real. You, me, my pain. I wish that we were just imagining all of this. But believe me, we're in great danger. Now help me already to get inside the lifeboat. We need to leave.
So you're not real. I'm going to leave you and these visions on board the ship forever. You don't exist. I need to destroy you with this revolver. It needs to end on this ship. I'm going. You're staying. I believe you. I'll take you with me. I'm not sure, but I just can't leave you behind. I don't know if these are all separate ones. These two, for example, seem like they might be the same thing, more or less. You still take him with you either way. Let's do this one.
I believe you. I'll take you with me.
Of course you're taking me with you. What else did you have in mind? Come on now.
Good. Let's go.
Good girl.
Good girl? What am I, your pet? Shouldn't it explode? He said that it was at risk of blowing up. That's fine. I guess sinking is fine. Whatever. Okay, so there's that ending. Governor and his family perish in fiery inferno. Daughter discovered wandering deranged through the debris. So that's how her parents died. Honorable Dr. Eduardo Juarez, brain surgeon and doctor of psychology's revolutionary advancements in the care of traumatized children. So he actually was trying to care for her, not do experiments or something. Captain of American sailing ship rescues child. Little girl found lost at sea under mysterious circumstances. I wonder if the doctor was with her and they both were rescued. Maybe. Doctor had quarters though, so I don't know. Ghost ship sighting. The trading vessel Mary Celeste, missing for a year, still unfound despite alleged sightings. Governor and his family perished. Okay, so that's back to the original one again. So basically, I think we still don't know for sure what happened as far as trusting Lex and stuff, but it seems what happened basically was that Anna, our character, was actually Fiona. She was part of like a kind of a richer or more upper class family who had this big mansion, and the mansion had a fire and it killed everybody except for Fiona. Fiona managed to get out, I think, is what we're supposed to interpret it as. That I think she did have a brother. I don't know that it was Lex, might have been, but I think she did have a brother. But depending, I think either her brother, I think really what happened, you might get different results with different endings, but I think what actually happened was her brother was also killed in the fire. It says governor and his family. You'd normally say governor and his wife if he only had a daughter, but his daughter's the only one who survived, implying there was the governor and his wife and another member of the family, so possibly a son. So I think what happened was the parents and their son died in the fire. Fiona managed to survive, but she was kind of, traumatized, haunted by the experience for the rest of her life, at least for years and years and years, up through this game. And the voices, the little boy voices that she heard, was basically her brother, either like in her head as a coping mechanism, so she's like, my brother's still with me, and so she could deal with life better, or alternatively, actually, because this is supposedly like a haunted ship and stuff too, so alternatively, instead, I don't remember, can I turn the volume? Yeah, let's turn the volume down for a second. Yeah, just mute it. Or alternatively, I think we say that her brother haunted her, but not in like a negative way, but like her brother's ghost was with her, trying to help her throughout her life. So when she was on the ship, her brother's ghost was there as well. I think Um, I don't know what to make of the Doctor. I feel like the Doctor probably was still evil. And that, well, no, I'm still not sure if he actually was. See, from her perspective, she might have, the Doctor might have been trying to help her, might have done specific things to her, like giving her injections and stuff, as well as psychological psychological sessions or psychology sessions, like talking with her and stuff to try to help her work through things. That's all possible. So anyway, so my point is, I think either the Doctor was trying to help her, but she perceived that negatively and so thought he was trying to hurt her, or the Doctor was actually trying to hurt her. I don't know which is true. And obviously I think that's kind of the idea. I think we're not supposed to know for sure which is true, because she has these memories from her past and she's walled off certain things in her head and she's had trauma and stuff. So she doesn't really know reality fully either, I think. So basically, I don't think we're supposed to know the answer to that. But she either was in danger or perceived she was in danger from the Doctor, and so killed the Doctor in that last like clip from the past where we were little girl Fiona trying to kill, trying to escape the Doctor. So killing him there, that was something she felt she had to do. Whether it was he was legitimately a threat or not, she thought she had to do it. So as a little girl, she did it. And that voice saying stuff like, don't go that way, he's going to try to kill you, you have to finish him off and stuff. That was her brother's ghost, or her mind's retention of her brother's voice or something, urging her to do stuff. So whichever of those it was. So that's that. And then as far as the rest of the crew of the ship goes, again, it could be a perception thing. So either she thought this was true, or she actually was in danger. In the first flashback or whatever memory we had of Fiona as a girl, she thought basically that the crew of the ship were slavers. Again, it could just be all in her mind. It could all have been just perception. But she thought that they were slavers. And she used rat poison, thinking that it was going to just knock them out. But it's rat poison. So it killed them. Anyway, and so she had done that in the past. And I don't know how then at that point, but at some point, she somehow managed to get off the ship. Because at the very beginning of the game, Anna and Lex both had been on another ship that had sunk, basically. Or they were tossed overboard from the ship. I don't know which. I think their ship had sunk. Anyway, and so they found some flotsam, some like floating items from that ship that they grabbed onto, and that eventually took them to the Mary Celeste, this ship, the haunted ship. And so in the very beginning of the game, they come in from outside through a window into the captain's quarters. And they're adults. Like, she and he are both adults. So obviously, she either somehow escaped the ship forever ago, ended up somewhere else, and then eventually boarded that other ship that sank and drifted back to the Mary Celeste. Or there is another possibility in my head. I don't know, though, how she would sustain herself with food and stuff, so that's a question. But it is also possible that she killed everybody else. We saw the crew on the lifeboat dead, right? And then we saw in the past, the last flashback to the past, we saw how she killed the Doctor. So the Doctor and the crew were all dead. So it's possible after killing them, she did not have a way off the ship. And all these years, she's lived on the ship and kind of tried to escape, where she gets on a lifeboat or something similar and tries to like leave the ship, and then gets sucked back to the ship, and the ship forces her to start all over again, basically. Except that she doesn't, when she returns to the ship, she doesn't remember what had happened. I think that's unlikely that that's the scenario, simply because if she didn't go anywhere, basically, like went out to sea a little bit and then got sucked back to the ship, why would her memory keep blanking out? That doesn't make sense to me. So I think, plus Anna talked about having adoptive parents. So if she was adopted, if she has memories of being adopted, that wouldn't have happened on the ship. So clearly she left from there, right? Now the adoption, obviously, would have probably happened shortly after the fire that killed her original family, right? But my point is, she has all these like she has adult clothes on. Did she just keep sewing new sets of clothes for her each time she grew out of the old clothes? That doesn't make sense to me, right? So I think she did make it off the ship somehow. We don't know how exactly, but somehow I think she maybe grabbed just one of the life savers, one of the life preservers that was hanging on the walls of the ship or whatever. Maybe she grabbed one of those and did manage to float away. I think she did, after killing the crew, I think she did escape the ship, end up either being picked up by another ship, or getting to an island or mainland or something, was found by people and was able to, continue from there. And so had years that she was living her life normally, and then eventually found her way back to the ship. I think that's probably what happened. Anyway, so there are still some questions, right? We don't know if the doctor was legitimately trying to hurt her or if she just thought he was. We also don't know if the crew were actually slavers, like her memory made it look like they were or made it sound like they were, or if they were just a normal crew and she was just scared of them or something. So a lot of interesting stuff there. Okay, let's go back. Oh yeah, no, I don't need to save because I didn't change anything except for the volume. I got to do this again because I did not save before this.
Or
So
he's
now-
going to cut you open.
Yeah, this voice. I think that's her brother from when she was a little, like when she survived the fire. Okay, so let's drop this in here. That's what we did before.
Hey, what was that? Was that you, girl?
Now he walks onto the plate, not realizing how close. Although you'd think with the heat he could tell, but maybe it's really
Come out now, before things get worse.
stifling heat just in general. I don't know. There we go. Over there. Let's go down the pipe.
He is evil.
See, and that's the other thing is, like, if her brother's ghost
I'm starting to get fed up with this.
is with him or is with her, then saying things like he's evil, that could all be tainted by her perception,
Where
right?
are you? Come out and show yourself.
If the brother's voice is just all in her head,
I
that
can
could
help
be
you.
just her perception. And if instead
Where are you? Talk to me.
it's actually a ghost with her, then the ghost clearly is not
Save yourself.
is clearly evil because he's convincing her that the guy's evil. That's if the doctor's actually good, mind you, because like if the doctor's actually bad, then obviously this is all good stuff we've done.
He'll escape. Pull again. You must do it. You're not done yet. Do it.
whole ship will be ablaze in no time. Lex, I have to help him.
There you are. I thought you died. These vapors, they can completely fog up your senses.
I'm fine. Lex, listen to me.
I can barely move. If you hadn't come back.
But I'm here now, Lex. Listen to me, this girl...
Now we know for sure. This ship is cursed. The hook, you got it? Can we move the lifeboat?
Now, listen to me for a second.
What?
I've seen the girl again, and saved her.
Are you okay? Maybe you inhaled too much of the vapors. This ethanol is the devil's brew. Let's get to some fresh air, as fast as we can.
The ship's burning.
If the fire reaches the ethanol barrels, the ship's going to explode. Thank you for coming back. I would have died here otherwise. We need to get out of here, quick. Do you have the hook?
Here it is.
Please, help me. I can't do it on my own.
Wait, I'll help you.
That's the thing where he says that if the fire gets the ethanol barrels, it'll explode. That's why I was
We need
waiting
to
for
hurry.
explosion.
Attach the hook so that we can escape, but we need fresh water before we leave. We'll die without it.
So and here's my fresh water. I got this super early in the game. Didn't know what to do with it the whole game, but now I know. Yeah, that's actually why I was surprised that the ship didn't actually explode in the end, but it's fine. It didn't have to. Oh, crap. I forgot to lower it first. Shoot. Hang on. I gotta lower the crates first. Yeah, rigging down. Okay, now down. I didn't know where to attach the hook for a bit, but finally figured
I've
out.
detached the cargo from the crane.
Now I put the hook on the chain.
I've attached the hook to the chain. I should be able to launch the lifeboat now.
The cargo's rope is the chain. But yeah.
Did you get some fresh water?
Here you go.
Wait a minute. What the hell is this? Rat poison.
Oh, the sleeping drug that Fiona gave to the sailors. It's one of these bottles.
Sleeping drug? What are you talking about? This is rat poison.
No, I saw what happened. Fiona put it into their food, but the bottle looked somehow different.
We don't have time to find out what you may or may not have seen. It's the fresh water that's important, and we've got it. Let's get to the crane.
Okay. Now I will save here. Okay, rigging up, yep. Okay. Then we want to go left. Oh. Nope, we want to go forward first. Gosh. So stupid. Alright. Forward. Okay, I'm going to resave it now so I don't have to have the potential of screwing up, not pulling it forward first again. Yes. All right. Now we'll go left.
Oh my god. Dead, twisted bodies.
See, why
Oh
aren't
my
they
God.
skeletons? Why aren't they skeletons
There
at this
are
point?
4 dead.
The whole crew. Apart from the doctor.
They died inside the lifeboat, even before it could be lowered. Hang on a minute. What did you say about your vision? About the rat poison?
Fiona. No way, she didn't.
She poisoned these men. That's why they never made it off the ship.
No, Fiona just tranquilized them. With the sleeping drug.
That wasn't a sleeping drug. She killed them all. In your visions, you saw a murderer.
But I saved her. From the doctor. He intended to burn her alive.
Enough of this. Open your eyes. The girl killed them. How can you not see this? And she murdered this doctor too. We'll never know for sure if he really was a bad man or not. Maybe he was just on board to care for the girl. And all of this has turned this vessel into a cursed ghost ship.
She didn't have any evil intentions.
We need to get off the ship. This ship drives everybody crazy.
Mary Celeste?
What did you just say?
It's written on the lifeboat. Is it the name of the ship?
That's impossible. The Mary Celeste disappeared without a trace.
What are you talking about?
She was a brigantine. It's been more than 10 years now that she's disappeared somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. I've been at sea with some old sea dogs who claim to have seen her as a shadow in the mist. But whoever turned his ship to follow her didn't find anything. A ghost ship.
That's complete rubbish. There's no way that this could be the Mary Celeste.
All these clues. It's got to be her.
A ship that's been missing for over 10 years?
Yes. And your story about Fiona seems to fit. All this time I didn't know what to make of you. But you seem to be a good person.
What did I choose last time? Why do you think Fiona's story's true? I think, right? No. I think I did. I don't understand any of this. I don't remember. You don't happen to remember what I chose, do you? I don't remember. Well, I can always back up the stream and see. Let's see. Back to... Let's see. Almost there. Just got to find where the choice was. A little bit farther. Apparently the cutscene's a lot longer than I was remembering. Why do you think the story is true is what we chose before? Okay.
So, who is Fiona?
What you told me had really happened. Here on the Mary Celeste. So this leaves one very important question in this puzzle. Who are you?
What?
How do you know what's happened to Fiona?
I had these visions.
But why you? Everything seems to have something to do with you. I, for one, didn't see any ghosts, nor little girls.
Because how many years ago did you say all of this took place?
At least 12 or 13 years. Why?
How old was I back then?
I don't quite seem to follow you.
I must have been 7 or 8 years old when this ship disappeared. I was a child, a little girl. No, that can't be. That's impossible. That was me. All of this. It was me.
Now what are you talking about?
I am Fiona. I did all of this. I'm the guilty one.
But your name's not Fiona. Your name is...
Anna. That's what my foster father called me. After he adopted me. He only told me that I survived a shipwreck. But whatever happened before that, I was never able to remember until now.
Anna, we need to get off this ship, now. Or this will be our grave.
I can remember my family.
Anna!
The house in the colonies. It burned.
I know, this must be tough for you.
But there's one thing that I have no memories of. A brother. I don't think that I had a brother. Who was that voice that was talking to me through the wall? Who or what was that voice, Lex? Lex?
What is it, Anna?
Now we know who I am. But do we know who you are?
For God's sakes, I don't have the slightest idea what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
What?
What? I've said I've got no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I was wrong. She just said that her foster father had told her she survived a shipwreck. So that tells me her home burned, she survived, was taken by the doctor temporarily. Either he was trying to help her or he was trying to experiment on her, and then she was taken on the ship, and then she survived the shipwreck. It seems like her foster father knew both that she'd been in the house that burned, in the mansion that burned down, as well as surviving a shipwreck. So that's interesting. Well, I mean, a shipwreck, or or the ghost ship or something, but
Something's wrong here.
Yes, something's wrong with you. Your memories are turning you mad.
You know my memories? My thoughts?
What the hell are you talking about? This ship's going to fly apart any second now.
Never told me much about yourself.
Now what are you talking about?
Were you here back then? Have you always been here?
Anna, stop it, damn it. You're giving me the creeps.
My parents. I can remember them, but not my brother. And Fiona never saw him. Just heard his voice. He didn't exist. He was only in my head.
We need to go. Time is running out.
Don't leave me behind.
was the ship's voice, or my brother never existed, only in my imagination, or I can't tell, because we did this one, I believe, last time. So let's try the creepy ship's voice.
It wasn't my brother's voice. It was the ship's voice.
Anna, you're really confused. Look around. The ship is burning. And all that matters is that the both of us go through this door right now and get off at the ship. Both of us.
You and me.
Stop! Stop talking!
Trust him.
You're not real!
The ethanol. It's got to be the vapors from the barrels that are doing this to you. Come to your senses before the ship's getting blasted to pieces.
Come to your senses.
I can't move. I can't help you. You need to help me. Focus. Be strong.
I've shown you the way once before.
Anna, listen to me. All of this is real. You, me, my pain. I wish that we were just imagining all of this. But believe me, we're in great danger. Now help me already to get inside the lifeboat. We need to leave.
You're not real. I'm going to leave you and these visions on board the ship forever. You don't exist. I need to destroy you with this revolver. It needs to end on the ship. I'm going, you're staying. These are effectively the same, except here she actually draws the revolver and shoots him, I'm guessing. Actually, this and this, these two I think, are basically more the same. Let's do this one first.
You don't exist. I need to destroy you with this revolver.
I don't exist? And who gave you the revolver in the first place? Just think about it.
You can't make me change my mind.
Then just get it over and done with.
That's a grim outcome, obviously. And then she's just leaving herself, I guess? By herself? Yeah. Just Anna. That's messed up, though. That ending's messed up. Given the cutscene, pretty sure Lex was actually real. But she's like, cuckoo. Okay. What? Oh. I hit escape and it crashed the game. Okay, well, that's fine. One more variant. I'm not going to go through all the others, but one more variant. I'm going to try the one where we just try to leave him behind, but don't actually shoot him with a revolver. Is that really going to be different? I mean, other than he suffers, maybe. Or maybe he stops us, though. That's a possibility, too. Alright, so to the left. To the left, to the left.
Corpses. Oh my god. Dead, twisted bodies. Oh my god.
Yeah.
There are 4 dead.
I can't
The
skip.
whole crew. Apart from the doctor.
They
Escape
died inside
apparently.
the lifeboat, even before it could be lowered. Hang on a minute. What did you say about your vision? About the rat poison?
Fiona. No way, she didn't.
She poisoned these men. That's why they never made it off the ship.
No, Fiona just tranquilized them. With the sleeping drug.
That wasn't a sleeping drug. She killed them all. In your visions, you saw a murderer.
But I saved her. From the doctor. He intended to burn her alive.
Enough of this. Open your eyes. The girl killed them. How can you not see this? And she murdered this doctor too. We'll never know for sure if he really was a bad man or not. Maybe he was just on board to care for the girl. And all of this has turned this vessel into a cursed ghost ship.
She didn't have any evil intentions.
We need to get off the ship. This ship drives everybody crazy.
Mary Celeste?
What did you just say?
It's written on the lifeboat. Is it the name of the ship?
That's impossible. The Mary Celeste disappeared without a trace.
What are you talking about?
She was a brigantine. It's been more than 10 years now that she's disappeared somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. I've been at sea with some old sea dogs who claim to have seen her as a shadow in the mist. But whoever turned his ship to follow her didn't find anything. A ghost ship.
Yeah, I'm not able to skip. If I hit escape, apparently it crashes the game. Space does not skip. Left mouse clicking does not skip. Enter does not skip. So I don't see a way to skip the or speed up the dialogue or anything in it. So we'll just deal with it, I guess. And which one? This is... Yeah, okay. Okay, and we found her was the first choice we made. The last one I said this is rubbish, so I guess we'll do this.
And this is the crew? Are you sure?
Look at them. They've been dead for many years.
A ship that's been missing for over 10 years?
Yes. And your story about Fiona seems to fit. All this time I didn't know what to make of you. But you seem to be a good person.
Right, and then this one was... Which one again? Yeah, why do you think her story is true? And then I don't understand any of this is what we did last time, so this one.
So, who is Fiona?
What you told me had really happened. Here on the Mary Celeste. So this leaves one very important question in this puzzle. Who are you?
What?
How do you know what's happened to Fiona?
I had these visions.
But why you? Everything seems to have something to do with you. I, for one, didn't see any ghosts, nor little girls.
Because how many years ago did you say all of this took place?
At least 12 or 13 years. Why?
How old was I back then?
I don't quite seem to follow you.
I must have been 7 or 8 years old when this ship disappeared. I was a child, a little girl. No, that can't be. That's impossible.
Doesn't seem like the dialogue changes from earlier choices, so I don't think those really matter very much, if at all.
That was me. All of this. It was me.
Now what are you talking about?
I am Fiona. I did all of this. I'm the guilty one.
But your name's not Fiona. Your name is...
Anna. That's what my foster father called me. After he adopted me. He only told me that I survived a shipwreck. But whatever happened before that, I was never able to remember until now.
Anna, we need to get off this ship, now. Or this will be our grave.
I can remember my family.
Anna!
The house in the colonies. It burned.
I know, this must be tough for you.
But there's one thing that I have no memories of. A brother. I don't think that I had a brother. Who was that voice that was talking to me through the wall? Who or what was that voice, Lex? Lex?
What is it, Anna?
Now we know who I am. But do we know who you are?
For God's sakes, I don't have the slightest idea what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
What?
What? I've said, I've got no idea what you're talking about.
I've done both of these.
I'm sorry. I need to trust you.
Anna, stop it, damn it. You're giving me the creeps.
My parents. I can remember them, but not my brother. And Fiona never saw him. Just heard his voice. He didn't exist. He was only in my head.
We need to go. Time is running out.
Don't leave me behind.
So she said, I'm sorry, I need to trust her. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. What? Little mismatch there.
My brother never existed, only in my imagination.
Anna, you're really confused. Look around. The ship is burning. And all that matters is that the both of us go through this door right now and get off the ship. Both of us.
You and me.
Stop! Stop talking!
Trust him.
I do wonder if she only hears... I mean, obviously she said she just recently remembered stuff before the shipwreck. But I wonder if she has been hearing the voices previously, or if it actually is the ship makes her hear the voices. I don't know.
I don't know if you're real or not.
The ethanol. It's got to be the vapors from the barrels that are doing this to you. Come to
Yep.
your senses before the ship's getting blasted to pieces.
Come to your senses.
I can't move. I can't help you. You need to help me. Focus. Be strong.
I've shown you the way once before.
Anna, listen to me. All of this is real. You, me, my pain. I wish that we were just imagining all of this. But believe me, we're in great danger. Now help me already to get inside the lifeboat. We need to leave.
Yeah, and that's also not changed. He says the ethanol vapors or whatever are getting to you. That's the same in all things you chose. So,
You're not real. I'm gonna leave you and these visions on board this ship. Forever.
Anna, of course I exist. Have you gone mad?
nah. I don't know if he tries to stop her, but I think we're just going to take him with me, and we'll just say this is the last one I'm doing. All right.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what to think. Come with me.
Good girl.
Again with a good girl, but whatever. It's fine, I guess. All right. And then it's going to be the same ending, I'm sure. They're just getting away on the lifeboat. Okay, so it's interesting. Overall, it was pretty good. It wasn't like the best game I've ever played or anything. There were glitches that probably should have been handled. And I don't mean about Windows being dumb and preventing the game from running today until I made an adjustment. That's not what I'm talking about. But like, for example, down in the mess hall, or in the mess hall, there's a place if you walk in a certain direction at a certain spot, she'll start to like sink halfway below the boards of the ship and stuff. So there's some things like that. Voice acting is kind of hit or miss. I think for the most part, Lex's voice acting is below average. It's not great. It's not awful, the worst I've ever heard, but but it's not that good. Anna's is better. Hers, I would say, is average or maybe is slightly above average, maybe. Graphically, I think this was done in like 2014 or 2015. So graphically, this is all right. I think it's probably slightly behind the times for when this was made, like behind the quality it could have been. But at the same time, you obviously need to keep in mind that a lot of times independent developers, even though they have like official company logo name 13 Deck or whatever, still think it's an indie developer, right? Just because they have the name for the company doesn't mean they're not indie. Independent developers generally have lower budgets, so maybe can't afford as much to do as much graphically. And that will come into play in a couple different ways, right? You'll have the gaming engine that they can afford to use. They probably can only afford a free one. Now, granted, you have things like Unity and Unreal that you can get free, but I'm just saying, like, getting the base engine may not mean you can graphically do all the stuff you want to do, because you might want certain plugins that let better graphics run in the game, or that let you maybe create better graphics. I think it's Unreal. I think it's Unreal, but it might be Unity. One of the two actually has now, with a newer update, like within the last couple of years, has where you can actually like do a lot of the graphic stuff in the engine itself, like the designing and stuff, not just importing graphics you have and then using physics on those. So anyway, so that's to a degree. So you have to keep in mind there's a limited budget, which will affect the graphics they are able to do. Still, the graphics were not as good as they could have been for something in 2014. Because keep in mind, some of the things in 2014 that we've played that had much better graphics, again, also remembering that there are things like, AAA studios that can get a lot better. But still, if you go from just graphics generally that were being used at that time, so Layers of Fear, the very first Layers of Fear game was from around that time. That graphically was great. You had Alien Isolation was around that time. Now, again, that would be a much bigger budget game, but still, graphically, that was done really well. You had 2015, so not 2060, but 2015 was Broken Sword 5, which you could say, oh, well, the graphics are about the same as this. Yes, but that was also artistically done as more of a like semi-cartoonish style. Not exactly, but kind of more cartoonish in feel on purpose. That was not a graphic limitation. That was on purpose, done that way. And I would argue that the cartoonish style of that was still better quality graphics than this was. What other things from around then? Okay, the Risen games, Risen 2 and or 3. I think 3 was around 2014, maybe 2015. Risen 3 graphically I think was better than this. Not by a lot, but a bit. Anyway, so you get the idea. So graphically for this, for the time period, it's all right. It wasn't the worst at all. Not definitely not the worst. Could have been improved, but again, budgetarily and stuff, you have constraints. Story was not fraught with a whole bunch of twists and turns, so it wasn't super complex, but there were some things that were not revealed until later that you could kind of see clues of, but you could also think that you were making assumptions. So like the reveal that Anna was actually Fiona, I did not actually see that until this ending credits or this ending cutscene series. So I actually did not realize they were the same. I could obviously tell there was a connection. I thought Anna was a ghost left behind on the ship that, for better or for worse, was tapped into Anna's mind and making her see visions and stuff, but basically kind of trying to get her to do certain things to see what happened in the past, but also to do things, whatever, like basically in my head, Fiona had in mind some goal she wanted to achieve, whether it was just to tell her story or it was she was an evil little girl and she was trying to manipulate them to do evil things or something. Whatever her goal was, excuse me, I thought Fiona had her goal, and so because she was able to establish a connection with Anna, I thought she was manipulating Anna to do whatever the goal was. Like, again, it could have been as simple as just telling her story so people knew what happened to her. Did not really connect that they were the same. They did a good job in making the hair color different. Fiona was all blonde, like way blonde, and Anna is all dark hair. Now, I don't know how that happened. Because usually if somebody has one hair color and then their hair color changes, it's usually when they're pretty young, like younger than Fiona would have been. Like maybe the first couple of years or 3 years, somebody's a blonde and then their hair darkens, like 4, 5, 6, their hair darkens, and then eventually they're a brunette or something later on. That's usually when it happens. And given the time, the setting of this, the time period, it seems to be based on their clothing. I'm going to say this is early 20th century, late 19th century, probably. And so because of that, probably late 19th century, because of that, I'm sure that it existed, but I don't think really like dyeing your hair was really a thing. Like nobody really did it except if you had a specific purpose for doing it or something, but it wasn't like a trend or anything. So the fact that she had dark hair was a little bit of a stretch to me. I mean, it was good to do it so that you did not figure out Fiona and Anna were the same person, but it's a little bit of a stretch to me that her hair would have been dark only 13 years later when she was like 7 or 8 already. She already had the blonde hair kind of set in for life, like her hair had changed to its final color basically. So going brunette later seems weird to me, but it's definitely possible that I don't fully understand. Maybe there have been studies and some people do change their hair later on. But in all the circles I've been, like somebody was born, like my sister was born just normal blonde. And then when she got to like 6, something like that, she was strawberry blonde. And stayed strawberry blonde the rest of her life, except for when she's colored her hair on purpose or whatever, right? Obviously manually colored her hair. But otherwise, she was strawberry blonde. So her hair was set in by that point. Both of my parents, obviously I didn't see, both of my parents were what I described before, where they were blonde for like until like 2 or 3, and then they turned to brunettes, and then they were, so I just feels like this whole blonde to brunette thing is unlikely, but what do I know? I'm not a biologist or something. I don't know all the things with phenotypes and stuff that affect that stuff, like what's realistic and what's not. So it's definitely possible that it actually what the game postulates or what the game suggests is what really would happen. It's totally possible. I don't know. What else? There were some things in the storyline that were a little bit confusing until later on. Like there was some creepy behavior, I would say, kind of creepy behavior from Lex, making it seem like he might have been somehow attached to something sinister going on with the ship, or that he had his own sinister thing going on. Turned out not to be the case. That you could say, well, that's a red herring, and so good job. I don't know though. I am not sure. I'm convinced that that's. I don't know. I feel like that was too heavy-handed. At a minimum, that was too heavy-handed, and so it was not clear that he was not really tied to the ship. And you don't know, you have the different endings, so maybe he is actually tied to the ship. I don't think so. I think he's just supposed to be a normal guy who got stranded with adult Fiona as Anna, and then went from there, I think. Yeah, so that's that. Gameplay, I think it was fine. I think it was a solid point and click as far as that mechanic goes. There wasn't really, like, there were a couple things I didn't find, but it wasn't really like so confusing and stuff that made it impossible to move forward. And it also wasn't so easy that you just knew what to click and what to combine and stuff right away with no thinking involved or whatever. So that was all right. The beginning of the game was a little slow. Spent a whole, and maybe it was just because I didn't find the right thing I needed to until, it took me some time to do so. But we spent an awful lot of time in the captain's quarters. And then once we got to it, an awful lot of time in the mess hall. So I don't know if that's, I don't really, wouldn't say that's a positive or a negative. It just kind of is a statement of how things were. But I do feel like the beginning, like I said, the beginning of the game was a little slow. I don't know that that's bad because it got a little bit, it like kind of started picking up speed as you went along. So there's that. There's kind of momentum of the story. So that's all right, probably. I don't really think that hurt it. There were some serious. This goes back to gameplay. There were some serious problems with text and reading. Like the text does not scale. Like for example, if you were going to do on a website, if you were going to display an image, you would not want to display typically. You would not want to display something that does not scale well. So, like, if you're going to use a single image that is going to be used on a phone, but also on a tablet, also on a laptop that doesn't have a huge screen, but much bigger than like a tablet, and also on like a 32 or 40 or 48 or 60-inch monitor or something, right? That you don't want that. There are two things you don't want. You don't want this in either direction, I should say. So you don't want it if it's on a phone, that graphic to be so small that you can't really read it. But you also don't want when you get to like huge, like a 60-inch monitor or something, you don't want the graphic to stay really small so that you can't really tell much about it, or have the graphic stretch but then get all pixelated and weird so it's like blurry in places and stuff. You don't want that, right? So you use an image type, SVG, designed to scale. So what it effectively does is it says like this curve of the image is X% of the total image area, kind of a thing. It calculates on scale so that as it gets, like you get a really large screen, it calculates and redraws the image so the image still looks really good at larger size. Now, I'm not saying they should have used SVGs in this game specifically, right? I'm not saying that's the image type to use here. But graphically, things like, for example, if I read a diary note, the note was like small, the text was, pretty small. I had to basically take screenshots and then get in my graphics program outside of the game and zoom in to be able to read what it said. That's a problem. Wouldn't have had the same resolution monitor in 2014 that I have now. Well, I don't think, at least. But I've got a 1440p monitor, and that looked terrible on my monitor. Like, terrible. Like, you could not read it, like I said. Something like that should have scaled. Alternatively, still think it should have scaled, but an alternative would be to have some way, so they did subtitles when people spoke, have some way to display the handwriting as text, like as subtitles or whatever, so that you could read just the normal print. And that also, by the way, should have been implemented regardless of whether the image scaled or not, because they use handwriting and not everybody can read cursive or script. Old folks like me can, because, before the internet really even took place, I was a little kid, so I learned to read cursive and stuff and write cursive. But especially with more modern audiences and stuff, you don't want stuff in cursive that you cannot also alternatively show as text, because if somebody's not learned how to read it, it's not like you're going to teach them how to read it. They're just going to not be able to read it and not know what it says. So you'll want some kind of way to convert that to text, so that it's a normal, like printed text, so that every player can read it regardless of whether they understand script or not. So that was a problem. And then also kind of related to that, those choices, if you notice, so you had the little strip at the bottom with choices, the text on that, it was printed, but the text on that was pretty small too. That should have scaled a bit. Instead of being I'm guessing it was like 12 point, maybe 10 point font or something instead of being that size. It would have been better if it displayed at more like 16 point font. Like add between 50%, between 30 and 50% to the size of the font, so that it would be more easier to read for people playing. So that was a big problem I had throughout as well. And then the last gameplay thing I will say probably is the inability to skip. So if I'm trying to go through all the endings, I had to just watch the cutscenes again. I couldn't just skip to the final choice or something and get a different ending. So that's obviously a little bit of a specific circumstance. Did still apply in some other places though. Like for example, when we're looking at the mechanism to see who was at Heaven's Gate and who was at Hell's Gate on that machine, you couldn't, like if you clicked and knew that the person coming up wasn't going to be somebody like let's say I had a question, was the cook good or evil? I don't remember. If that was my question, I'd have to go through and play with each of them until the cook came out. But there's no way to kind of skip the scene. Like, so I had to watch the slow cutscene before trying again, and then watch a slow cutscene and try again. It slowed things way down. Not a great mechanic for that. So overall, I say I give the game, like, out of 10, I'd probably give it like something like a 6. It was decent in some ways and maybe above average in some ways. And then it was kind of not a great experience in other ways. So the average or slightly above average did not really balance out the negatives all that much. So, but I'll be generous, because if I was going to really average it, it probably would be more like 4.5 or something. But it was enjoyable. It wasn't the best I've ever played or anything, but it was enjoyable. So I give it like a 6. I think that's probably what I would go with on that. Anyway, okay. So that is going to be it for this. So we finally finished that game. That's great. So in basically just under 8 hours, we'll be doing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I'm starting that again from the beginning because I did not, I had problems with the game. Like when I switched hard drives, I lost stuff from the game. I need to remember to apply the community patch that Somni had recommended for me before we start playing, so I can proceed past the point where I got stuck on the original stream of that. Anyway, that game is early enough, like 2003, I think, or something. It's early enough that even with graphics shifting, which I have with other games too, like with the Black Mirror series or The Darkness Within and stuff, that one shifts things so much, like all my windows go totally crazy. So hopefully we'll figure out some way to get me where I can play the game and see chat properly. I managed it on the original stream, so I know there's a way to do it. I just got to figure out. It might take several adjustments. So that'll be a thing that I will have to manage as well. But we'll do that once the stream starts, because I won't be able to know for sure if things are doing what I want them to do until then. So anyway, well, thanks LOL for joining me. Yeah, it wasn't, like I said, not the best game I've played or anything, but hopefully it was at least enjoyable enough that you weren't bored to death. Yeah, hopefully I'll see you or anybody else who watched this or who is planning on watching me stream in about 8 hours. Till then, peace.
Poor spider.
This freaking boy. Oh, that's so sad.